All right, welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be revisiting State versus Camillo. We talked about the difference between State versus Camillo and State versus Pearlstein the other day. I'm doing this on my cell phone. Not usually. I usually do it on my tablet, so if the phone rings and it cuts off, I'm going to have to restart again. So please, nobody call me. And my friends who are watching who think it would be cute to call me and cut my video off, I'll kill you. So we're going to go into State versus Camillo 2005. And this is the case that said that a person who refused to answer the questions of a state trooper who needed his information to complete an incident report was not found guilty of obstructing the administration of law. Wasn't found guilty on 2C-29-1. And I'm going to try to explain this to you. I have some stuff highlighted in here, and hopefully you guys get this so you don't get caught up in this exact scenario. You know how to approach it correctly if it does present itself to you. Now, I had this conversation the other day with another guy, and we were discussing it, and I said, it's very unlikely that somebody's going to be hip to this game of refusing to answer questions or provide their information during the requirement to fill out an incident report. So, right here it says, in this appeal, the question presented is whether the defendant's refusal to provide his name, date of birth, and social security number to a state trooper who required the information to prepare an incident report constituted an obstruction of the administration of law pursuant to NJSA 2C-29-1A. We conclude that the facts of this case, it did not. And consequently, we reverse the defendant's March 24th, 2004 conviction of that offense. So basically what happens is a car breaks down in some private property in South Jersey. Let's see, Southampton Township, which is, I don't even know where that is. Basically, it's not New Jersey anymore. I'm just kidding, guys down there. I'm joking, kind of. You don't have pizza, so can't get a good bagel down there. I just got a feeling you can. I'm not sure. But anyway, so here's what it says. The van breaks down. It's private property. The guy comes out. The guy doesn't want the van in the private property. They begin an argument between the guy's girlfriend, him, people in the van. Somebody calls 911. State police show up. The guy who's the owner of the property says, look, troop, I don't want you to do a report. I don't need anything. I just want them off my property. He says, you know what? I'm going to do an incident report anyway. Everybody gives the trooper his information, their information to the trooper, and the only person who refuses is Mr. Camillo, John Camillo. He says and I'll just read some of it from you. Good said he did not want to pursue the matter, just wanted the defendant and his girlfriend off his property as soon as the van was prepared. Nevertheless, the trooper decided to document the incident just in case the owner of the property had further problems and wished to pursue the matter on a later date. To prepare his report, he required the parties' names, date of birth, and social security numbers. The goods provided the information as the defendant's girlfriend. Defendant refused. He became agitated. He said that he knew his rights and refused to cooperate. This is in 2004. It sounds familiar to a lot of stuff today. The trooper discussed the situation with him and over the next several minutes and finally gave him an ultimatum. If he did not provide the information, he would be placed under arrest and charged with obstructing. Defendant responded that he'd rather go to jail. The trooper obliged him. He arrested the defendant, handcuffed him, and searched him, secured him in the troop car, and drove him to the state police barracks. The trooper found no identification on him, and the defendant, when he searched him back at the barracks, the guy was there for an hour 45 minutes, finally gives his stuff up to the trooper. I'm going to skip ahead here to some really, really important language, and I'm going to give you my interpretation of it and what you're supposed to do in this situation, right? So State versus Kent, in the consent decree that the court had given, this is Supreme Court verbiage, simply obstructing or impairing the perverting the administration of law or government function is no longer a statutory violation. The obstruction must be carried out in a manner described in the statute by means of flight, intimidation, force, violence, or physical interference or obstacle, or by means of any independently unlawful act. Here, the defendant did not commit that conduct. He did not physically interfere with Trooper Deichman. What he said was he did refuse to provide information to the trooper to complete his incident report. While the defense actions may in fact have a real sense obstructed the trooper from preparing his report, that conduct in the absence of physical interference is not a violation. Wow. So what they're saying is silence is not physical or violent. You're keeping quiet. You're not violating the statute with that. There's a lot more wording in here that's important, and they refer to Pearlstein. I'm going to put this up, and the link, you guys can read this. They refer to Pearlstein and what was different about that when she refused to provide her documents to a police officer in a motor vehicle stop. And then at the bottom it says, the language of NJSA 2C-29-1A is clear. It requires the obstruction be by means of flight, intimidation, force, violence, or physical interference or obstacle. Here, none of these conditions existed. So what does that mean? Well, it means if the guy's silent and he's not answering your questions to prepare an incident report, it's not going to violate obstructing the administration of law. This is under these circumstances. However, would it be considered to be if he started to leave at that point by flight? So think about that. You're probably going to have to wait till the person leaves and prevents you from writing that report to charge with obstructing. Just silence alone will not invoke or violate the statute of 2C29(1)A. Right? And then in the back, the last thing that the court said before they left, we are mindful that the defendant's actions here did, in a very real way, interfere with the trooper's duties. Nevertheless, the obstruction statute requires a physical interference, not merely an interference. Criminalizing the type of conduct committed by a defendant in this case must come from the legislator, not the courts. Consequently, reverse and vacate defendant's conviction. Wow, so, guys, people hear this in class and are like, no, I'll fucking lock him up. Whoa. Read the case. You know what I mean? Like, just read the case. You get presented with a situation, you don't want to be the person looking like an ass because you didn't know what you were doing. That's what all these videos are about. That's what all these classes are about, to prepare you to put yourself in a position to win. How would you win this situation? The guy doesn't want to talk, that's fine. Now you got to sit there and try to figure out who he is. If he decides to start walking away, the question is, can you charge him with obstructing administration of law by means of flight? Seems like it fits, doesn't it? So, if you're confronted with this situation, now you know how to approach it, how to use it, and how to win in court, putting you in a position to win. That's what this is all about. It's all the knowledge. It's all the knowledge you're supposed to take in. So I'm going to attach the link to it. You don't have to listen to just my word on it. I don't care if somebody doesn't believe you in your administration. Just hand it to them. Let them read it. It's really simple to read, okay? Just read it. I don't make this stuff up. I'm merely delivering it to you guys. Now, good news is for the guys in Gloucester County, we will be back. I will be back June 20th for a one-day case law class. And then I'm actually coming to Hyattsville, Maryland for the first one-day out-of-stater. Hyattsville, Maryland, that will be June 22nd. I'm looking for my board. Yeah, June 22nd, Hyattsville, Maryland will be hosting a class. It'll be a one-day interdiction class. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to do, obviously, case law from New Jersey in Maryland. So hopefully we'll see a lot of guys out there. For any upcoming courses, go to streetcoptraining.com. I'm actually going to give away 5 free spots in my next class. May 18th, Madison. If you can make it, I'm just going to figure out what it's going to be, that I'm going to do like a little contest or something, I don't know. And then I'll give out five free spots. I'm going to pay for them out of my own pocket and donate them to the guy in the wheelchair, the triple amputee from Afghanistan who stepped on an IED and needs a wheelchair. So we're going to do that for him. You guys have any questions, reach out to me. Send me a message. If your friends are trying to get into the group, make sure they send me a message if I don't know who the F they are, and let me know who they are. Yeah, hey, I'm on the job, I'm here. And then my admins, if you see people trying to join, please just message them and ask them to provide some information about who they are and if they're on the job. And if you actually add people yourselves, I don't even ask them questions. We just add them right into the group. So that was something for you guys today. Now it's back to work and just working on more and more stuff to bring you guys, to put you in a position to win. That's really my goal, and I want everybody to come out and just fucking own the streets, man. I want you guys to win legally. That's all it is. So see you later. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to our channel or leave a comment below, and also like us too. It means the world to us.